You know, I'm Randy Hooser. Bill was my brother. You know, this day is tough. He died doing a job that he loved. But I guess the important thing is he was more than just a cop. He was family, friends, and, you know, bigger than life. And everything he did was big. And I think that's the important thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it was, you know, I'm Jody Hooser. I'm Randy's wife. I've known Bill and his sweet wife, Kinda, since they were kids. Bill and I are the same age. I met him in a high school debate class. I met him before I met Randy. But that was part of who Bill was as well, as he made everybody in the room feel like they were the only one, whether he was in cop mode or brother mode or dad mode. Everybody knew how important you were to Bill.
So, and I'm Troy Starlitz, my wife Lynn. I'm Bill's brother-in-law, but we spent every single weekend together, it seemed like. This is the toughest thing I've ever had to do. Coming in here tonight and seeing all the videos, it just solidified how much time we did spend together, because we're literally in almost every single picture with him. And like Jody says, Bill was bigger than life, and the tribute that he's getting here is amazing. The support from the community, support from law enforcement and everybody, it's just amazing to me to see how much everybody, you know, whether you knew him or you didn't know him, loved him and supported what he did. I mean, Bill was a cop, but he was one of my best friends, and I don't even know I knew that so much until this last week. I mean, I've known Bill for 30 years now, and he's deeply missed already, and it's going to be a hole in my life for a long, long time.
And I'm Lynn Starley. I'm Kinda's sister. Bill's my best friend. And literally we did everything together. I will miss him so much. Sorry. This has been terrible for our family. Our hearts are shattered. It's going to be a hard one to get past, for sure. But we do appreciate everything from the bottom of our hearts that you guys have done for us and the community and people we don't even know. They don't even know them. It's beautiful to see, for sure.
I think I speak for everybody when we say that we so appreciate it, but even further than that, we think that this conversation should go past just right here, because it's so important for us as a community, as a group of people on earth, to remember what our freedoms cost us and what those sacrifices mean to all of us and to these men and women that fight for our freedoms every single day. And Bill was one of those people through and through. He would stop randomly at somebody's house that he knew was struggling just to see if they were okay, not as a cop, as a human being. The things that made Bill a wonderful cop, a wonderful police officer, also made him a wonderful human being, and that's who we're grieving today. He leaves behind 2 beautiful daughters, a granddaughter, a wife, brothers, sisters.
Great sons.
Great sons.
We're glad they're here. We're glad they're here to help us and help get through this.
You were talking a little bit about him being more than just a cop. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit more about that, his love for, I guess, what he did? And it was more than just a job?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was a cop for 9 years. I've known him for 50. So, I mean, fishing, hunting, camping, razors, I mean, everything outdoors, he was all about it. And didn't matter what we did as kids, even if you weren't racing, he always beat you. You didn't know until the end that you were in a race, but that's the way he was, competitive to the end, and he was always in it to win it. And he put his family first, and I think that's the important thing, is to try to strive to be better and like him, because I know I could work on it.
Prior to Bill even being an officer, he was a carpenter and loved woodwork. He's built, I don't even know how many homes and apartment buildings, and he's helped me over the last 30+ years build multiple garages and all of my projects and stuff. He loved framing and doing woodwork, and like Randy stated, the outdoors was our thing. I mean, every weekend we were out doing something. It didn't matter what it was, whether we were at Lake Powell or the sand dunes, or yesterday we went to the sand dunes and did a great big memorial ride for him, and it was awesome, the amount of people that showed up just to show their support for him. It's amazing. So.
Not forget that his friends are like his family.
Yes.
Thought them as his family.
Well, he treated his friends as if they were family.
Mm-hmm.
You've all mentioned the community impact, and I'd like to touch on that a bit more. It feels like every day we see a new post of someone who has a story to share about him on social media, or you go in the halls of this school and you see the students' messages to you and other family members. Tell me your thoughts on that.
That's just who he was. I mean, wherever he was at, everything around him was important. If it was a kid going to school, he's going to stop and talk to them, make sure they're okay, and just be kind.
He loved to teach. He
Yes,
loved to
loved to
teach them.
teach.
I mean, I know he started a program, and I don't know much about it, but with the high school and getting high school kids to learn more about law enforcement, and that was something that, to my knowledge, he started. But that's the thing, is, trying to reach out and get more people involved.
Bill is a leader. Most definitely a leader.
I think one of the words that we could all use to sum up Bill is passion. He was so passionate about everything that he did, whether it was playing on his time off.
Mm-hmm.
He was passionate about that and making sure that everybody was having a good time and laughing, and he was the center of that laugh. Whether he was on duty as a police officer, he was so passionate about that work. He was passionate about his family. He was passionate about everything that he did and everything that he loved.
It's just overwhelming to see the support, especially coming into the school and seeing all of the each grade has something to say, and it's written on the walls, and it tears at your heartstrings to see it. Most of these kids don't even know him, but they've all got something very special to say, and it's just overwhelming. I mean, the procession last Monday, bringing Bill back from Salt Lake down here, I mean, I tried to hold it together. I was bawling coming down the road, and just seeing people pull over in the middle of the highway, putting themselves in harm's way just to salute and do their thing. It's just overwhelming.
Awe-inspiring.
Really. It is.
And the state of Utah and all the communities, everybody that's come out, I mean, amazing support. I don't know if you'd see that in other parts of the country. So for that, that's pretty surreal.
Even the UTV community,
Yes,
It's just been unreal, and Bill would be so proud. I know he's loving every second of it.
Sounds like you have a lot of love and support, family-wise, community-wise. How do you press on? How are you managing?
Each other.
We're asking ourselves that every day.
You gotta lean on each other, and remember the good times. For me, I'm only speaking for me. It doesn't serve any purpose to dwell in the negative. Try to find the positives and move forward.
Matters what you put out in the world.
And honestly, it's been comforting to have Randy here because he's so much like Bill. Everything about him.
So.
It matters what you put out in the world. Will you choose to remember the love that Bill put out in the world with everything that he does, and I hope that everybody chooses to remember that it matters what you put out in the world. And he put out nothing but kindness and love to all of us, and we're not sure how we move on without him. We're not sure yet, but one step at a time, and it helps all of us being together, but it helps the community support that we've received.
Yeah.
Well, and I
makes
think it
us-
brings all of us, you know, all of us together, that, you know, we all get caught up in our daily lives, and, you know, life gets busy, and it shouldn't take something like this to bring us together.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just say, it's just gonna be a struggle, cause like I said, we spent every weekend together with him and stuff, and it's gonna be very difficult. We do our Lake Powell trips and do all this stuff without him. I mean, the family will be with us. We've already promised them that just cause Bill's gone, they're coming with us regardless, so we'll keep that with us, and we'll laugh and joke and have a beer every chance we get to
Or more.
honor the guy, so I won't forget the guy ever, so I hope nobody else does either.
Is there a memory or interaction you have with him where you're like, that's just so him?
So, Bill, go ahead, Troy.
Some of these, I don't know. I'll just tell one real quick. I don't know of anything that he was ever scared of his whole life, except for one thing, and that was grasshoppers. You know, I was the older brother, so, you know, I'm not saying it's my fault, but it probably was my fault. We'd caught a whole quart jar full of grasshoppers and held them down and poured them on him, and he wouldn't even get in a vehicle if they were on the car, so that's the only thing I know he was ever scared of.
Yeah, I have too many to share and some that I won't share, so I'll keep that to myself.
For
I just
me,
know he's larger than life. How's
Yes.
that?
For me, I think it was cool. Bill was super smart. Like they said, they, you know, he started his career as a carpenter, and it was fun for me to see how he transferred that smarts or the skills that he had in carpentry to detective work and the police work that he fell in love with, and that was really his passion. It was fun to see how he transferred those skills and
'Cause they're
just
two
really,
different things.
yeah, two different things you would think, but he really did transfer those minute detail skills to everything that he did with police work, and I think it really made him a good cop, but
Well, he never did anything
small.
small, or it was always at 110%, you know? If it was close, it had to be right. So, and that's what I think helped him become a better cop, and
Absolutely.
And it's
A great framer.
absolutely what made him a good man.
yes.
Many have talked about him dying as a hero. What is your message to the men and women that are out there every day sacrificing their lives? You never know if they're gonna be coming home. What are your thoughts?
Thank
Well,
you.
Thank
too.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely, this puts a whole different light on them. I mean, we had deep respect for them in the beginning, but this whole tragic thing just lets you know that those people are out there every day putting their lives on the line so that we, you know, we can do what we do. And it's I mean, again, it's just awestruck with everything that they do, and it's just amazing the work that they do, and we don't even know it. I mean, you know, you might feel bad getting pulled over for something, you know. Just remember why you're being pulled over. They're doing their job, and that's something that people have to remember. They're just doing their job just like any one of us, but they love it. Bill loved it,
He did.
you know, and unfortunately, he died doing what he loved to do. I mean, Bill wasn't even scheduled to be on that morning. He was covering for another officer. So, you know, he just,
Kenda finds comfort knowing that we had another police wife that had come over that morning to sit with her and help her through it, and she told her Bill wasn't supposed to be there. She says, yes, he was. He was supposed to be there.
he was there for a reason, and he protected others and did his job, and all I can say is thank you to all of the badges and the men and women that go out and do this every day. It puts a whole different light on what they do, gives you a whole new respect for it. So,
Squeezes just a little extra. In our family, I've got a son that is a police officer and a son-in-law that's a police officer. My daughter and her fiance are firefighters, so we have a lot of first responders in our family and know the sacrifices on a daily basis that these men and women make, again, so that
We can enjoy the
we
freedoms.
can enjoy the freedoms that we have away from the evils that are out there.
What was it about being a police officer that he just loved so much? What was it about? I mean, basically at the age of what, 40-something?
Well, I think that for me, he loved to talk. So it gave him an opportunity for 8 to 12 hours a day to talk to whoever he pulled over or whoever he was working with that day. I mean, I think it was the mayor that said that he pulled over and it was supposed to be a 5-minute conversation.
In
It
the
was
middle of the
45
road.
minutes, so in the middle of the highway. So yeah, he liked to talk. So it was great. It was a great job for him, and he loved helping people.
The service.
The service of it was something that he always enjoyed. And that didn't matter if it was just being a police officer. That was just in life in general. I mean, that's going to Troy and Lynn's house and building a garage, or one of their friends, or coming to New Mexico where I live and helping on projects. He was always there to help. Mostly to boss you around, but always there to help.
He was the brain behind all of it.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
So, yeah, he was the guy always on the machine, but
I think if you asked the men and women that he served with in the Santaquin Police Department, they would tell you that he's there to boss them around too. So.
They all looked up to Bill so much.
yes.
I recognize this is a hard question, but how has today been?
terrible. Quite honestly, I was okay coming here, but as soon as I started seeing all the pictures and everything, and I'm in almost every single picture there, it really just tore me apart to see that just how much time that we did get to actually spend together, and now how much time I'm not gonna have one of my best friends. So it's terrible. It's honestly, it's the worst thing I could ever do. It sucks.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you said enough right there. I don't have nothing.
How are
I
you
don't think
feeling?
any day's gonna be easy for a while.
Yeah, how are you feeling about tomorrow?
Dreading it.
I don't know. It's gonna be big, and he's deserving of it. But I don't know. Luckily, we've never had to deal with this before, so we're just gonna take it one step at a time.
I think it's extra hard for all of us because he was so big in life. And even though this is big, the honors that he's being bestowed, it could never be big enough. It could never sum up what Bill was to all of us and to this community. It could never.
The relationship he had with his wife and the kids, and they were always laughing. I
He
always
was-
was so jealous of them, and they're just laughing and joking, and I don't know.
It was Bill that was the center of that laugh, too. And he was a girl dad through and through.
Yes.
Dance recitals and doing hair, and he runs a curling iron. I've seen him blow dry girls' hair. He hated it, but
Painted
he
their
would do it,
nails.
painted their nails, went to
He loved his
cheerleading
girls.
competitions, took him,
a lot.
he was a girl dad, and he loved those girls.
Is there anything else you guys want to add?
No, I'm good.
I guess just real quickly, just summing it up, what do you want people to remember about your brother and your brother-in-law?
Be
Just-
kind.
yeah, he was
Sorry, what was that?
I said be kind, because
just
he was.
kind, never had a mean thing to say about anything or anybody, always willing to help, and just larger than life. I mean, he was the center of attention, no matter what we did, where we was at.
Whether he knew it or not.
He would love this whole being the center of attention of this. Kinda and the girls, his wife and girls have said that a couple of times. He's just up there lapping all of this up.
It's been comforting getting little signs, you know,
Yes.
the heart over in the clouds. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's just little things that they've noticed. It's given them peace. It's helping us with our peace.
Going along with that, my final question is, what will each of you individually take from him, that you learn from him as you continue on in your lives?
For me, I'd want to do better, just be better, you know, reach out, make the phone calls.
I think the same for me. It matters what you put out in the world. It matters not only to your family and your friends, but it matters what you leave behind when you go. And Bill left behind love, and it makes, I hope everybody want to put more love out into the world.
Yeah, I'm just gonna remember just Bill. He was
He was unique.
unique, just a good guy, always smiling, friendly.
Always up for a good time.
He was, no matter what it was, he was just a good guy with a smile on his face all the time. Didn't matter who you were, if he met you 30 years ago or 30 seconds ago, you were his best friend. So
Lynn and I said the same thing as people came to the house, and we've been there. If we had $1 for the amount of people that have come into the house and said, Bill was my best friend. And he was everybody's best friend.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank
This is
you.
huge for me to be able to talk to someone. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.